Hey crafty family, it is me, and today we're going to do some really cool stuff. We are going to do some acrylic pouring on ATCs. I know you've seen a lot of acrylic pouring on canvases and all that stuff, but I don't think there's anybody that's done acrylic pouring on ATCs, but we are going to do that. And the only thing is, I already recorded it, and the first half of the video where I am doing this, explaining what we're doing and part of mixing the paint, I accidentally deleted. So the actual pouring part is all good. It's fine. But the part where I show you how to mix the paint and I do the intro like I'm doing now is gone because I'm a dumbass. So I'm refilming that part. So if it seems weird and it skips from, well, it's not going to skip, I'll let you know when it's going to happen, to a different part, it'll make sense. Anyway, this is just the intro anyway. Just telling you what you need. You need paint, craft paint, whatever kind of acrylic paint you got. Just don't use oil paint. You'll need a torch or a heat gun. And the heat gun that you need is not your typical heat gun that blows a lot of heat. You can use the Tim Holtz one that doesn't blow a lot of air. It just has heat. Or you can get one at the, like a more industrial kind that you can get at the Lowe's, Home Depot, hardware store type of kind. But the best thing to use is a torch. These little torches are not scary. They're just a glorified lighter. It has a little safety on it. You push it. It's literally a glorified lighter. They are perfect. Nothing to be scared of. It's just basically a large lighter. So don't be afraid of that. I've heard people say, oh, I don't know if I want to do it because I'm afraid of, you know, a torch. These are literally, they're like a lighter. Like, really, don't be afraid of them. You'll also need some silicone. Now, the only kind that I could find at the time, because I only went to Walmart and I couldn't find anything else, was this kind, which is kind of, it's by WD-40, but it's water-resistant silicone lubricant, which you can use this. What I did was I squirted it into a little bottle so that it was liquidy. Just don't put a cap on it, because if you put a cap on it, it'll spew, because it goes under a little pressure even when you squirt it out. So, like, in other words, if I were to squirt some into this little bottle so that I have the liquid, I would keep the cap off of it and leave it and store it like that. Or you could just squirt this into your paint, but since I'm doing such small amounts, it's easier to put it into a different bottle and just put a drop or two in, because that's all you need, rather than try to squirt it with this. But you can buy regular liquid silicone, which is better, and I advise you to do that. So find the non-aerosol, like this is an aerosol can. Try to find the liquid silicone. And so let me show you how to make the paint. It's super easy, and you don't need much. Now, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can use pouring medium. Okay, which I did in the video, but I'm going to show you another way. I did this with the paints that you're going to see me pouring in a little bit in the video. I use the pouring medium, but just to show you that you don't have to have pouring medium. I mean, I'm not going to use it right now, but I'll save it. I'll put a thing on this and save it. You can use your Mod Podge or your homemade Mod Podge, your glue and water. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to mix up, well, we're just going to grab this because I have it. Obviously, I'm not using this color further in the video. I have 5 colors that I mixed up exactly the same, except I used pouring medium. But, you know, no difference. Use pouring medium or this. It's the same thing. So, you take your paint however much you want. Now, that's really thick. If it's really thick, you might want to add some water to it as well. And then you're going to take, and I'm going to use a spoon, and you're going to take your Mod Podge or your Elmer's glue and water. That might be too much, but we'll find out. And then I've got these little stir sticks. And you're going to stir it up. If you need more paint, add more paint. If you need more water, add more water. Now you can also use just water and paint. I don't advise that as much because it works better if you use some sort of glue and water mixture or the pouring medium, but the pouring medium can be expensive. That's why glue and water works just fine. Like this is perfect, but it's unfortunately the paint's a little clumpy, so I'd work on the paint a little bit because it's kind of, I guess that's an older paint. I probably shouldn't have done that one. But as far as consistency goes, you kind of want a very liquidous, you know, that might even be a little too liquidous. I might add a different color just because that one's horrid. But here, oh, that's a metallic. Why is that there? That one. Here, I'm just going to throw some of this in because it might be a little better. I'm not talking about color, I'm just talking about the consistency. I'm trying to get the consistency right for you. But I didn't want to use that other green I just used because it was like chunky. It must be old. There we go. Kind of like a very thin pancake batter. But, you know, as long as it's very pory, you know what I mean? As long as it like, here, I'll show you. As long as it will pour pretty well, you know what I mean? And it's not, you know, that's all you need. As long as it will move, because when you put it on the canvas, you want it to be able to move. Not the canvas, but I'm doing ATCs, but you know what I mean? You want it to be able to move. You know what I mean? So, for instance, here's an ATC, so that when I pour it, you'll see later, I'm going to be doing this a lot, okay? And this might even be just a little too thick even. I probably shouldn't have added that other paint. But you want it to be able to move a bit. Yeah, this is probably just a tad too thick. But you want it to be able to move, which I'm going to throw that out because I don't need it. So yeah, so that's how to do the paint. So you're going to mix up whatever colors you want to use. So let's say you want to use 4 different colors. You're going to mix up your 4 different colors and you're going to mix them into small little bowls, especially if you're doing ATCs. You know, you're going to fill your, you know, if you want to do a lot of ATCs at once, you'll see in the video as I go forward that I mix up about halfway of each color in these little bowls so that I have enough to do several ATCs, and I end up doing a good probably 15 of them. But it's good to have, you know, I would say 4 to 5 different colors, no less than that, and one of them be white. White is a good color to mix. The only thing with white is it tends to take a little bit more watering down, you know what I mean, because it seems to be thick and doesn't like to cooperate, so you want to water it down a little bit, whether with your pouring medium, with your Mod Podge, or a little water, or a mixture of all of it, so that this way it gets nice and liquidy. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Sorry that I screwed up and lost that part, but really I just showed you what I just showed you and then cleaned up my area, and then that's when I lost everything. But I have everything that shows you all the pouring and all the important stuff. You're gonna see that right now, so enjoy. Okay, so I've decided to stop the video and get a piece of plastic and then put this underneath before I went any further. Okay, so now's the point where we're going to start putting the paint in here, but first we're going to add a little bit of the silicone. I'm just going to add a couple drops, which it doesn't like to do. It likes to spill out continuously, which is flipping annoying, if you ask me. So it's hard to get just a couple of drops. So from what I know is the rule of thumb is the more you mix it, the smaller the cells. The smaller the cells you get. I'm just going to get rid of these sticks because they're just useless right now. These little spoons are better. Sorry. Trying to concentrate at the same time as... because this thing doesn't want to flow properly, the silicone. Because I don't have the right kind. Clearly. But anyway, the more you mix the paint with the silicone, the smaller your cells, the less you mix it, the larger the cells. So I've been learning. Not sure, I'm just kind of doing it against this so I can just get what I need, because this likes to be gross. So some of them I'm mixing a little more than others. Okay, so that we can set aside. Don't need that anymore. Alright, so starting with the white, getting rid of the stick. I'm going to put paint in here. I don't exactly know so far. You know, I don't know how much paint I'll need to do an ATC. Have no idea. I'm just kind of putting paint in, and if we want to go back and add more, we can add more. But as of right now, I'm just kind of winging it. And we're just going to see what happens. Why not, right? Why not? I'm trying to put all the colors that would go together, you know, next to each other. So that's why I started with the white to the yellow to the blue, in hopes that they all kind of work together and play nice together. So this is going to be the last color. I might throw a little white on top of this. Maybe not. Nah, maybe not. I think this should be enough. Okay. So the trick is you put this on top and then you flip it over. This is obviously going to make a mess. Oh, you know what I meant to... No, never mind. I'm just going to let it go on here, and then we could pick it up with other things. Let me make sure that this is... We could pick up any... Whoa, I just spilled it. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me that I just spilled my paint? Oh my god, this is so not going as planned. Well, I had a spill, and so I dipped... What I did was, the paint that I spilled, I dipped the ATCs in, and it came out pretty cool. And I might just pour this, because I can't really use it for an official pour. But what I might do is just pour the rest of this to see what happens, because it, you know, I accidentally spilled it all. So the only colors I got left is the red, the orange, and a little bit of purple. But screw it! It was so annoying. This is why I'm in the wrong place to do this. I shouldn't be doing this at my craft desk. I should be doing this at a larger table, but of course I don't have a larger table, and this space is so confined, and if I move anything, things fall over. So I'm just going to go with it, and we're just going to use this as the first ATC, and I'm realizing now that I really don't need that much paint anyway, so it's kind of good that I found this out, because I can just work with what I, you know, with that little bit that was in there. And I'm just going to move this around, and actually, you know, I find out that yes, you can do pouring on an ATC. It may not be the most, you know, perfect thing, like, you know, like a canvas, but I'm wondering if I torch it, if I'll get any cells. Let's try it. I just want it on the lowest setting. Is this not working? Oh, maybe I have it too low. Oh, look at that. Holy moly. See, now I'm wondering if it'll torch, if I torch these, if they'll get anything. Because I don't think so, because they are, and I don't advise you to torch anything on a piece of paper. So put down a heat resistant mat, and I advise you to do it while it's up like this. So hey, so my screw up has made this amazing ATC happen. So I can't complain too much. All these are amazing. I'm not going to complain at all, to be honest, because these are flipping amazing. I'm just going to fill in a couple little holes here. But, I mean, come on. If we're going to be honest here, these are flipping amazing. Ain't complaining or nothing. I mean, there's a few little holes, and some of them I really can't do much about. I can try to fill them in a little, but honestly, I mean, what it looked like, I spilled it and I stopped the camera because I thought, oh crap, I'm gonna have a big mess, I'm gonna have to clean up. And so I stopped the camera, and what I should have done is kept it rolling, and because the thought in my head after I spilled it was, oh, well, wait a minute, if I just turn the cards over and dip them in, whatever, look how beautiful they came out. Like, so don't ever think if you spill it that, and this is, first of all, yeah, don't ever think if you spill it that it's the end of the world. Just grab something and start dipping it in, because let me tell you, I don't think I could ever replicate, especially this one. The pattern I got in this one, because it was like the last one that I did, I don't think I could have ever replicated that anyway. So these are pretty remarkable. I just need to get them out of their own way. Yeah, dang. This one's still dripping a bit. But yeah, this is so cool. Alright, I'm going to get my board so that I can put these on it and then clean up this little mess. So I'm going to turn off the camera to do that, and then what we're going to do, and I'd love to show this to you. Let me see. Isn't that amazing? And I'll put pictures of them all up on the Facebook group, Pink Poodle Crafts, Pink Poodle's Pack Creative Playground, when I'm done. So I'm going to shut the camera off, clean this up, and get ready to actually do the next actual pour. So I'll be right back. Okay. We're all cleaned up and ready to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple at a time to the best of my ability, because when I fill up this cup, there might be enough for at least 2 to 3 pours. So what I might do is do little bits of paint and then go back around with more, because what I'm finding is I don't need a full cup to fill that ATC, that's for sure. So we're going to do our best to do small amounts. And then go back around to some white. And yellow. And just do that a few times. Do some experimenting. What I got in this cup will probably be enough. For 2. So I kind of like the idea of giving it a little stir and then just pouring it onto these, because I think I'll waste less that way. So I just gave it like a half-ass little stir, And now what I'm going to do is just pour some of it on here, some of it on here, and the rest of it on here. And if it's not enough, then that's fine. I can add to it or do later. You know, this is all experimenting to see what we got, to see how much. It might not be enough. You know, I may have to go back and add to it or spread this out or whatever. And that's fine. I'm trying to do it with as least waste as possible. So this might be a bad idea. You know, I might have tried to go too thin, which, you know, is possible. But I'm just trying to see, you know, it's all experimentation at this point. Seeing what I can get away with without using up a crap ton of paint. Which, to be honest, this is covering it. I mean, it's not as drippy, ooey gooey as a lot of them are, but it covered it. And it looks really cool, so I'm not too upset about that. You know, I might not be doing it to the protocol of what, you know, everybody else does it, but we're trying things out. I'm gonna do some that are drippy and some that are more just thick layers of paint. I've done canvases like this where I didn't have enough paint, but I sat here and just like did what I could with what I had. Done it before. Still looks dang cool. And then when I take the torch to it, it's gonna pop up any cells. This one there might not be. Well, there should be enough. Oh, don't drip. Concentrate on one at a time. Come on, you could do it. You've got enough. You can do it. There we go. You got it. Now that looks badass, even if it's not, you know. This one might not have enough. Whoops, and I just lost some of it. Can't do that. Don't want to do that. But what's nice is it sits right on the edge, and then, oh, and then you lose it. You gotta be careful. Be careful. Be careful and patient. Cell that just appeared on there. It just popped up like, hello, I'm here. I'm going to be your friend. This is really cool. You don't waste any paint this way. It doesn't drip all over the place. And look how freaking cool it looks, even though I didn't do it the traditional way. I just kind of did this. That's actually, I kind of like that for ATCs. That's what I'm going to do from now on. For my ATCs, I'm just gonna, you know, I might fill it up a little bit more so it's not such a hassle, but I'm gonna do it this way so that I don't waste all kinds of paint and have it all over the place. Yeah, you gotta sit here and fill in a couple of holes and whatnot, but whatever. Still looks damn cool. Look at that. I've never even got that. Whoa, don't fall over. This is where I have problems with this mat moving around. Now I stuck my finger in it. because this mat just slides, and I really wish it had rubber on the back of it. I'm tempted to find a way to glue something to the back of this mat. See, this is trouble for me, trying to clean up. All right, we're gonna take the torch to it and see what happens. Oh, come on, light up. Ooh, that one. Holy moly. These look so freaking cool. Yeah, I definitely like that method the best. This is the best method for me because no waste. Look, nothing. No waste. I like that no waste stuff. That's better for me because when I used to do pouring, there would be so much waste. And by the time it poured over and like all over the place, it was all muddy because it would mix together, and you know, it wasn't really salvageable. So this is better. These are badass. Best ATCs ever. I mean, seriously, look at that. If you got an ATC like that, wouldn't you be like, holy killer crap, wow, that's crazy. These are so cool. Even this one, it looks like some weird universe. And of course they warp, which is another reason why with ATCs on like cardboard, you shouldn't overfill them, because if it's warping, it's going to continuously just pour over. So if you do it just enough to get enough paint on there to spread it out and get this cool look, you don't run the risk of it going all away. It'll pretty much hold its form and it won't drip all over the place, which to me is, you know, badass. All right, I'm going to shut off the camera real quick and move these over to the little area I have, and then we'll be right back and try some more. Okay, I'm so excited. Now I just want to do this forever. This is so exciting to me. We're going to do 3 more. And I know I'm doing the same colors. I get it. But I don't care, because that's the colors I got, and we's going to use them up. This is so much fun. You guys got to try this. Like, seriously, get yourself some silicone. I like my method only because it is so less mess, and I like less mess. Who am I kidding? The less mess, the better, in my eyes. Yeah. So you can get 3 ATCs with one of these little pill cups that they give you in the hospital to take your medicine. You can get it with it filled up not even halfway. You can get 3 ATCs done. I'm just putting some drops of other colors. Yeah, mommy likes. Mama Poodle likes. Poodle tested, Poodle approved. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is plenty. This is probably more than I made the last batch. And and all I did was, because it's all in a rainbow order, all I did was take it and give it a swoop like that. And I have a baby wipe handy. And now I'm just going to pour some on this one, some on this one, and some on this one. And I'm going to pour out some more on this one, and more on this one. And we're going to wiggle, 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 wiggle. Do, 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 do. And I mean, you don't have as much control as you do if you do it the other way, because here you got to just try to fill the card, whereas with the other method it's already overflowing, so you can kind of get certain areas to go where you want it, if that makes sense. If you ever watch any pouring videos, you'll know what I mean. But here we're just trying to fill the card, so we don't have as much control over what we get as far as design, but I don't care. It still ends up looking freaking cool. I don't care. And how come I don't see any of the white? Is the white getting eaten up or something? Maybe I'm not putting enough white. Oh, I should do this over here in case I spill a drop or two. It goes on to another one. I'm hoping these will be dry before the pajama party tonight, but I have a feeling they will not, because tonight's the pajama party. This video is not going to go up until after the pajama party, because, oh yeah, I gotta do it over here, gotta remember, because I still have to edit it, and it's getting late, and I have to reveal my new hair tonight, which you'll already have seen it. If you're watching this, then that means it's after the pajama party. So you will already have seen my hair. He was already have seen it. Yeah, you definitely want to get these to spread quickly, because otherwise they start to dry a little bit and they don't spread as well. So 3 is probably the max I would do at one time, because that's sitting there, and as it's sitting there, you know, it's starting to dry already, at least partially. And I'm making kind of a mess with this because I'm trying to get it to spread. That's okay. We'll just have to let it drip out a little bit, and that's fine. This one can use more paint, I'm sure. It'll look cool if I drop some of it in there. Is it dripping off the edge? You jackass, don't do that. Okay, you stay there. Stay. Don't stick on my finger. You ain't supposed to be dripping that way, hunty. Oh, no, no. You're supposed to be dripping the other way. But see, they get warped a little bit. The board does. This one's probably got... Oh, I'll even let it drip onto here. See how cool that is? Yeah, you could just have a ball. You don't have to waste any damn paint. You could drip it all onto your other ones and like, yeah, fun. Oh, I love it. Because look at these cool colors that I got going on in there now. These just random drips. Yeah, you don't have to waste nothing. Don't waste your paint. Don't waste anything. Alright, we need to get this to stop. Whoops. Going where it's going and get it to go where we want it to go. Not drip on me, drip on there, dingbat. Come on. It's not moving, because the last one is always harder to get to move the way you want it to move, because it's maybe I can get some of this to drip into here, since this has got some extra. So you could do all kinds of things to get your, to use up your excess paint. Alright, now we got some cool colors. Cool colors. Nope, don't fall off. I want you to go the other way now. Come down here. Oh yeah. It takes a little work. You know, it's kind of like one of those mazes that you did when you were a kid, with the where you had to take the plastic and get it to the plastic maze thing with the ball in it. So this one I'm just gonna have to deal with this before I end up with a disaster. Alright, good enough, because I don't want to mix it too much, because if you go mixing it around too much, you end up with a disaster. Alright, let's torch it and see what we get. Oh yeah. Such a satisfying feeling to torch it. Let me see. It really is very satisfying, because the colors that you get when you torch it are pretty or the cells, I mean, not the well, the colors too, because it makes everything do weird things. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys can see how cool these look. Let me zoom in a little. Can you see them? Let's specifically try to zoom in on that one if we can. It's not going to focus, is it? Nope. Sorry. It's out of focus, but I could do this and we could try to make this happen. Try not to move it around too much. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, since I'm out of room on my board over there, and getting some small drippaging happening because this is the best way to do ATCs or anything that'll warp, is to not pour too much paint on, is to do it this way. And I accidentally found this out, so I'm glad I did, because A, you won't waste paint, B, you're gonna get a really cool pattern regardless, and C, your cardboard from your ATCs are going to warp and there's nothing you could do to fight it. If I tried to straighten it out, I'd ruin the paint. So the least paint that you could put on, that, because the more it flows off, the more your patterns flow off. So the least paint that you can put on for your ATCs, the better. I know somebody's going to say, well, how much paint did you have in that cup? I can't tell you. I don't know. So you're just going to have to experiment, you know, just like with anything, experiment. I'm going to lay these down here because I ain't got no more room over there, I don't think. Maybe for one, because I want to do more, because I got all this paint here to finish up. So I at least want to do a couple more. All right, let me go see if I have room over there to put these down without spilling them on my carpet. Okay, I'm back and I cleaned up my mess a little bit. I moved things around. And what I did was I took the rest of the paint and I already prepared it and I poured it in here already. I did a little bit till I filled the cup because I wanted to use up the rest of the paint. Now I'm just going to give it a little stir, like so. And then, oh, this thing, I need to glue it back together. We're going to do as many ATCs as we can with what I've got. So we're going to start off with 4, and then I'll move on and move on. So I'm going to pour some on there. I'm going to pour some on here. I'm going to pour some on here. Pour too much on there. Some on here. And then I have enough for another one at least. And we're just going to see what happens by doing it that way. Just to use up the rest of the paint that I had. That's all. This one's very purple because I did have a lot of purple left. Purple was the color that I mostly had left. So I just need to work quickly, get these spreaded a little bit so that I can move on to the other ones, so not to be wasting a lot of time. It's very hard to do 2 at once. Okay, we'll stick that one on top of there. This one's dripping all over the damn place, so it's screaming the loudest for some attention. We're gonna let it drip onto this one here a little bit because I probably put too much paint on this sucker. And maybe not enough on one of the others. Alright, let's let that one sit. Move on to this one and the other one. And try our best, before they start to dry too much, to get them all. Yikes. It's really hard when they start the border starts to dry, like, and it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, that one looks really cool. I got paint all over my hands. Okay, let's try to get this one spread and see what we can do with it before we lose the ability to move here. Some of them have too much paint, others have not quite enough paint, or enough, but you have to really spread it. Okay, let's see if we can tap these downward without dripping all over. Adding some colors. Can do that too. I'm just gonna do that. I don't want to take too long. There we go. Alright, time to get the torch. Time to torch it. Alright. Yeah, I wouldn't do more than 3 and 4 if you're really speedy about it. Well, I did 5. I didn't even do 4. I did 5. Dang! I did 5. I didn't even realize that. I wasn't paying much much attention. Choking on my own spit. Yeah, and there's a little bit of drops off here, but not too bad. A little bit of drop off, dripping. But it looks I can't even tell you how cool these look. I don't know if the camera does it justice on how spectacular these look. And such little waste. I mean, I really have such little waste with these, which is so stinking cool. And yeah, you're gonna get some that drips off and what have you, but I think overall, considering I'm just trying to, we got some thick parts here. I'm just trying to go along and help these out just a little bit, even though now these will dry like a flat color. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some of this awesome-y drippy paint and I'm going to stick it there just because I flippin' can. Just because I can. Because the edges on this one are a little, goodness, paint everywhere. Paint everywhere. But oh my goodness, the yummy goodness of these is amazing. You can't even imagine how beautiful they are. Even this one, which, you know, it kind of looks, oh, and I ruined it. Dang it. See what happens? See what happens? I ruined it. Oh well. Oh well. That one will just have to be the dud. Or does it? If I'm careful and I don't screw up the rest of them, maybe, just maybe, I can make some sort of fix. Let's see what happens. we're going to salvage it in one way or another. Because I dropped it. I knew that was going to happen to at least one of them. You know? Had to have one man down. Right? I mean, I shouldn't have picked it up to show it to you. I should have just left it alone. And that one I swiped across. Oh, man. Come on, dude. Dude, really? Let's see what we can do with this one. This one, I don't know if I could salvage that. Shoot. Alright, let me put that down. Wipe this off and see if I can fix this mess that I made in here. Yeah, I did. It's okay. Good goodness. My hand is so sticky, it's sticking to everything because I have like half dried paint on my hands. This looks cool though. See? It's not too bad. My mess turned into something. I could try torching it and see if I'll get any more cells out of it. I doubt it. No. Nah, that's alright. We have one mess up out of all of the other ones. That's fine. This is going to be one hell of a mess to clean up. But it could be worse. If I would have just poured it in the way that other people do it, where they let it just go everywhere, I would have had so much more wasted paint. So I'm glad that I did it this way. I'm glad I found this mistake. This mistake turned out to be a really happy accident, in my opinion, because I have so much less wasted paint, and you know how I feel about that. I do not like wasted paint whatsoever. I'm just kind of throwing all kinds of goobly gop on that one to see what happens. I'm just like, whatever. Who cares? But yeah, I got a bunch of really cool ATCs out of this. This one's probably my favorite. I'm gonna try not to screw it up. That one's probably my favorite. That one over there, I don't know if you could see. All the pictures of these are gonna be in the group when they're dry, and I throw some varnish over them so that you can see what they look like. I need to wash my hands. Tonight is the pajama party, so I'm going to get ready for that and reveal my new hair that I have, and hope that you guys like it. So I really hope that if you have never tried pouring before, I advise you to do it on ATCs. I think this is a fantastic way to get started if you've never done it before, especially with all the silicone and all that. I've never done it that way, but now I want to do it all the time. But I think doing it on ATCs is a really awesome way, because if you screw it up, first of all, if you screw it up, it's just an ATC. It's not a canvas. It's not a tile. It's not, well, even a tile, you can just wipe it off and redo it. I used to do tiles too, a lot of tiles, but I did like the 12 by 12 tiles. I did a lot of those, but anyway, don't let it discourage you if you see people doing the pouring on canvases. Do it on some ATCs. And you know, if you don't if it also gives you anxiety to see people with all the wasted paint, then do it like I did it and just pour a little bit on each one and move it around, and look how cool they look. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten that if I would have just dumped it over and let it pour all over. I just don't see that I would. I mean, that one's a mess up, but I don't see how I would have gotten such cool results that way if I wouldn't have done it the way I did it. I mean, that's just my opinion. I didn't do it the other way, but I don't want to now because I like this way. This is just the way I like it. So it's a dirty pour, but it's also a clean pour. So I'm just going to call it a clean dirty pour, because instead of just pouring it and letting it go all over, I kind of did a dirty pour, but very cleanly. Because I find a way to do everything cleanly. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you will try it and not be discouraged, and not think, oh, you know, they're experts. No, they're not, because I did it. And yes, I've done pouring before, but never like this. I've never done it the way this way with the cup and the whole thing. Never. So this is all new to me that way. And if I could do it, you could do it, because I'm an accident prone. I'm surprised. I mean, I made quite a few accidents happen, but considering how many accidents happened, and I still got amazing results. I'm even going to pour some of this on there. We're just going to go to town. Why not? This is our goofy one. You gotta have one goofy one. One screw up. This one's gonna be very textured. But, so yeah, you just gotta give it a try. I really would love to see you give it a try and let me know. And, well, post in the group. I would love to see your ATCs that you do, or whatever you do. If you want to do canvases, do canvases. You want to do ATCs, do ATCs. But either way, I would love to see you all do the pouring, because it is very easy. It's just messy. So you just want to prepare your area. And, you know, ATCs is a great way to start, because you can use a small area and just put a garbage bag down and a craft mat or some paper. You know, I would advise, if you're going to torch anything, okay, you can use a heat gun, but I wouldn't advise using a heat gun that blows a lot of air. The Tim Holtz one would probably work really well, because it doesn't blow a lot of air, it just gives off a lot of heat. So that would be good. If you're going to use a torch, I wouldn't advise putting paper down and then having your thing close to the paper and then torching. I would have it up on a cup so that it's up higher. Then it's fine. Your torch is not going to reach the paper. You know, if you keep the torch on low, it's going to be fine. But I would not torch it close to the paper. That's all I'm saying about that. You know what I mean? Like, keep it up, keep it on a couple, get some cheap tiles or some cups, turn them around, whatever, but just don't lay everything on paper and then torch it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to start a fire, but you know, torching, it's kind of important, because that's where all the little cells pop up. So I advise you to definitely torch it, or you know, get one of those heat guns and do it that way. But yeah, this was so much fun that I can see that I'm going to be making a lot of ATCs this way. This one's going to be very textured, because the paint is drying in like clumps, which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to try to smooth out this section here, because it's a little clumpy. Let's see if we can get this to smooth out just a little bit. Come on. Like, my hands are in it, ruining it, and but it's already ruined. We'll just see how it looks when it dries, that's all. We'll just see what kind of monstrous mess we get when it dries. It might end up being the coolest one in the group, who knows. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something along with me, because I learned something about using the silicone and all that stuff. I mean, these are just absolutely gorgeous. I can't get over how beautiful these are. My pourings, when I did big ones, never came out this nice, you know, because we didn't have all the cells. We would get, every now and again, we would get an air bubble cell, and that would look really cool, but we couldn't predict that. We couldn't make that happen. And now, you know, you can make it happen with the silicone. I would just be careful. If you're using the type of silicone that comes in that like aerosol-y can, and you put it into a bottle, don't put a cap on it, because it still builds up pressure inside of there. And then when I took the cap off at one point, it like spewed all over. Leave the cap off and just put a little bit in the bottle, just as you need it. So I probably wouldn't have put this much in it, but I do have to leave the cap off, because if I put the cap on, it'll spew. So just know that. I would try to find the kind that's already in a bottle. That's the liquidy silicone kind, instead of this kind. That's like, this kind was like similar to WD-40 kind of, but it's not WD-40, it was the silicone kind. It works, but it was the only thing I could find at the time. I have to try to investigate and get some actual, what do you call it, silicone. So that I will do. That'll be the next thing I do, is to get some regular silicone, and then I'll just use that to lubricate things like what it's meant for, and just throw this away. But for now, that's what I got, so I'm just going to keep the cap off. So if you do that, just keep the cap off. But yeah, it works. It makes beautiful cells. These are absolutely stunning, and I'm so excited to give these away with the ATC challenge. I cannot wait to give some of these away, and I also can't wait to get some ATCs from the people in the group who are doing the challenge. Like, you guys talking to the people that are in the group that participated in the postcard challenge. You guys are amazing. I got like 18 postcards, I think I counted, and I'm like so amazed that you guys said, like, so many of you thought to send me postcards, because, you know, like, I don't know, I just was like, I love them and I want to find a way. I'm gonna get some sort of book to put them in, and because I want to preserve them. And the ATCs that I get, I'm putting I already have a notebook started, or a binder that has like the sleeves in it for ATCs, so I'll just add any that I get from the group to that. So yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give it a try. And if you have any questions about it, email me at pinkpoodlecrafts@gmail.com. I will help you with anything I can. Things I used: craft paint. I used pouring medium, but like I said, you can use glue and water, or just water if you're desperate. Some silicone, which you can get. I would try to get the liquid silicone that's already in liquid form, not the kind that's in an aerosol if you can help it. Go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you'll find it there. A torch or a heat gun that blows, it doesn't blow too much, but just gives off heat, or a professional heat gun, which has more of a, like, meant for heat. So anyway, sorry, my phone rang. But anyway, I was just trying to close out the video and say thank you for watching, and if you could, please give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share this video on social media if you wouldn't mind. It helps me out a lot. And that's it. And join my group. The link will be in the description. You can see all the photos of the finished product when I get them finished. And I also do live streams twice a week. On Friday night we do the pajama party, where we just have fun doing whatever. And on Monday nights we do mixed media mashup, where we use prompt cards and do mixed media in our journals or whatever, using the prompt cards, and everybody that's in the live stream follows along, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, have a great day. Do what you love what you do. Be nice to people. I'll talk to you later. Bye.